Companies Act in 2000. Section 201 Forms of and procedure in relation to certain applications. Section 202 Compensation for loss of office of managing or whole-time director or manager. Section 203 Appointment of key managerial personnel. Section 204 Secretarial audit for bigger companies. Section 205 Functions of company secretary. Section 206 Power to call for information, inspect books and conduct inquiries. Section 207 Conduct of inspection and inquiry. Section 208 Report on inspection made. Section 209 Search and seizure. Section 210 Investigation into affairs of company. Section 211 Establishment of serious fraud investigation office. Section 212 Investigation into affairs of company by serious fraud investigation office. Section 213 Investigation into company's affairs in other cases. Section 214 Security for payment of costs, expenses of investigation. Section 215 Firm, body corporate or association not to be appointed as inspector. Section 216 Investigation of ownership of company. Section 217 Procedure, powers, etc. of inspectors. Section 218 Protection of employees during investigation. Section 219 Power of inspector to conduct investigation into affairs of related companies, etc. Section 220 Seizure of documents by inspector. Section 221 Freezing of assets of company on inquiry and investigation. Section 222 Imposition of restrictions upon securities. Section 223 Inspector's report. Section 224 Actions to be taken in pursuance of inspector's report. Section 225 Expenses of investigation. Section 226 Voluntary winding up of company, etc. not to stop investigation proceedings. Section 227 Legal advisors and bankers not to disclose certain information. Section 228 Investigation, etc. of foreign companies. Section 229 Penalty for furnishing false statement, mutilation, destruction of documents. Section 230 Power to compromise or make arrangements with creditors and members. Section 231 Power to tribunal to enforce compromise or arrangement. Section 232 Merger and amalgamation of companies. Section 233 Merger or amalgamation of certain companies. Section 234 Merger or amalgamation of company with foreign company. Section 235 Power to acquire shares or shareholders dissenting from scheme or contract approved by majority. Section 236 Purchase of minority shareholding. Section 237 Power of central government to provide for amalgamation of companies in public interest. Section 238 Registration of offer of schemes involving transfer of shares. Section 239 Preservation of books and papers of amalgamated companies. Section 240 Liability of officers in respect of offences committed prior to merger, amalgamation, etc. Section 241 Application to Tribunal for relief in cases of oppression. Section 242 Powers of Tribunal. Section 243 Consequence of termination or modification of certain agreements. Section 244 Right to apply under Section 241. Section 245 Class action. Section 246 Application of certain provisions to proceedings under Section 241 or Section 245. Section 247 Valuation registered valuers. Section 248 Power of registrar to remove name of company from register of companies. Section 249, restrictions on making application under section 248 in certain situations. Section 250, effect of company notified as dissolved. Section 251, fraudulent application for removal of name. Section 252, appeal to tribunal. Section 253 to section 259 omitted. Section 270, winding up by tribunal. Section 271, circumstances in which company may be wound up by tribunal. Section 272, petition for winding up. Section 273, powers of tribunal. Section 274, directions for filing of statement of affairs. Section 275, company liquidators and their appointments. Section 276, removal and replacement of liquidator. Section 277, intimation to competitor, provisional liquidator or registrar. Section 278, effect of winding up order. Section 279, stay of suits etc. on winding up order. Section 280, jurisdiction of tribunal. Section 281, submission of report by company liquidator. Section 282, directions of tribunal on report of company liquidator. Section 283, custody of company's properties. Section 284, promoters, directors, etc. to cooperate with company liquidator. Section 285, settlement of list of contributories and application of assets. Section 286, obligations of directors and managers. Section 287, advisory committee. Section 288, submission of periodical reports to tribunal. Section 289 omitted. Section 290, powers and duties of company liquidator. Section 291, provision for professional assistance to company liquidator. Section 292, exercise and control of company liquidators powers. Section 293, books to be kept by company liquidator. Section 294, audit of company liquidators accounts. Section 295, payment of debts by contributory and extent of set off. Section 296, power of tribunal to make calls. Section 297, adjustment of rights of contributories. Section 298, power to order costs. Section 299, power to summon persons suspected of having property of company etc. Section 300, power to order examination of promoters, directors etc. Section 301, arrest of persons trying to leave India or abscond. Section 302, dissolution of company by tribunal. Section 303, appeals from orders made before commencement of the act.